laptop. Go ahead and address and install SLC devices and P-Link devices. Run a learn via the control panel. I'm going to pause right here and say a learn is not required. You don't have to do that. You can skip step 3 and just skip right over that and write your program and dump it in, and that's going to work fine too. But a learn can make it a little easier. So run a learn. Connect your control panel via Ethernet. Well, it's just a standard Ethernet cable directly to your laptop, right in that PCOM port. Go ahead and upload that to your computer. Make your changes, download it back in, and what should be there, step 8 is test. Always test it after you download. So this is just kind of your general process here. Again, that learn's not required. You don't have to do that. It just makes it a little easier for you. We've already talked about the learn function here. This is just kind of describing it. There are a couple extra things I'll mention about it since we're on this screen. You can do a learn on a system that's already up and running. Maybe you're just removing a detector, or you're just removing a annunciator or something like that. You can just run a learn, and anything that's missing when you run a learn will just be deleted from the system. So it's not going to affect the stuff that's hooked up and working fine, but anything that's missing when you run a learn will be deleted. So if that's what you're trying to do, is delete something, great. If you're not trying to delete anything, make sure you don't run a learn while anything's disconnected, because it will be deleted. You can also do a change. Maybe there's a smoke detector in a kitchen. You want to change it out to a heat detector. You can take the smoke down, put the heat back up at the same address, and then run a learn, and it'll swap it over for you. So now that heat detector will now have all the custom labeling and programming of the smoke detector. Panel configuration software, again, it's on the laptop, and it's the same software for every panel we have. So you only got to download the one software, and then you can program any of them. Let's talk about the PCOM. Direct connection, that's the one we've mentioned a couple times. Again, standard Ethernet cable there. When you plug in, you're going to go through this little process, and then it's going to come up. If you're direct connected, it's always going to be this IP address on the panel. And then that's what you'll use to upload and download. The biggest thing is to make sure that your laptop is set up for automatic IP. If you have a static IP set up on your laptop, it's not going to work. So make sure you don't have a static IP set up on your laptop. Once you're in there, you can upload and download. You can also connect the panel directly to the building network, and in that case, you'll get a different IP address. And I'm not going to get into static versus dynamic or DHCP all that much. If you're going to leave the panel hooked up to the building's network, you're most likely going to have to put a static IP address on there. You'll get that from the network administrator, and you just do that through the software. You put a static IP. Once you're on the building network, you can also upload and download through the network, so you could connect your laptop to the same network or even to the Wi-Fi and upload and download through the network. There's just one extra step, which is enabling the panel through the keypad. You're also ready to go for IP reporting once you're there. And then you can also do your emails. Let's look at those. Every panel has an email address, and it's on there's a little barcode sticker on the heatsink on every panel, and it's always going to start with whatever model panel it is. So in this case, AFC 50, there's going to be a bunch of numbers after that. So the email address for the panel is that NetBIOS or serial number at powderlink.com. So you can just look at a panel and see what the email address is for it right there on that little sticker. Up to 20 emails are available to enter into email reporting. You can do status emails. Let's go ahead and jump over to the next one here. So these would be your status emails: alarm, trouble, or supervisory. and it'll basically just send these emails out anytime one of those events happens. So maybe it's like a building management company or something. They got several buildings, and maybe they just want to get an email every time there's an alarm, trouble, or a supervisor at any one of their panels. You can set that up. You can set it up as email to text if you want also. If there's a bunch of things that happen at once, it's only going to send it one time. So if you get 50 troubles at one time, it's just going to send one email and show you all 50 of those troubles. It's not going to, blast out all those separate emails. Of course, it's not intended to alert authorities. This is all just extra functions. You're still going to have reporting separately. You can also schedule your history and detector status reports, so daily, weekly, or monthly, and those will be attached to the email. So maybe the maintenance crew at the site wants to get the history and detector status emailed on the 15th of every month. You can set that up. There's one other option, which is email request, which means you can have an email address programmed into the panel that doesn't get anything sent to it automatically, but that email you can email the panel at any time and request the history, detector status, or the configuration file. So maybe as the install company, maybe there's an email address that you program into the panels that just allows you to request information from it whenever you want it. Can you configure the panel through the Ethernet connection? I'm assuming you mean remotely, and the answer to that is no. Programming has to be done on site. Next one here, email reminders. This one is more long-term, so these are yearly, quarterly, that kind of thing. You can still do up to 20 emails. You can still attach your detector status and history report, and these really are just used for this kind of stuff here. So maybe an annual test reminder. The nice thing about that is if you do set up an annual test reminder in there, you can attach your history and your detector status, and then you can send it to the customer and also to your own inspections department. And then that way you've got the history and detector status. So, you know if there's something going on there that they haven't told you about. So you don't get out there for the inspection and find out you got a bunch of troubles or something. FMT is a software that we have that basically just allows you to kind of acts as a remote annunciator for panels. So you can be at your house, log on to FMT, connect to a panel, and view the signals from that panel. I'm not going to really get into it a whole lot. We've got videos on our website for it if you want to learn more about that. What I will say is it's free. So if it's something you think you or your customer could use, you might as well try it. You just have to have the panel hooked up to an Ethernet connection on site at all times. And then you can just check in and out whenever you want to. But again, there's videos on our website for it. So if you want to know more about that, take a look at those. And that's pretty much it. So we're always updating our videos on the website. I know somebody was asking about networking earlier. We do have our new networking videos on the website. So if you're not coming back Thursday for the webinar, you can watch those videos. It's pretty much all the same information. We've also got the FMT, Potternet, IntelliView, any of these new softwares or things that we're coming out with. We pretty much have new videos drop as soon as the products do. So make sure you're checking back. If you see something new's out, want to know what it's about, go check out the training videos. There's almost definitely going to be one on there. Other than that, I'll keep this up for another 5 minutes or so. Any questions coming over, we'll answer those. And other than that, I want to thank everyone for attending. And if you got any questions, go ahead and send those in. You can also send them directly to training if you want. Training@pottersignal.com. That information on the screen is for tech support if you need to call them. If it's something that you need an immediate answer on, training will probably be, or tech support will be the best way to go. You can get through to them quickly and they can answer your question. If you've got something that's more specific to design or something, you just want more information on something, you can also contact us in training too. So